What's with the court stopping Donald Trump from sending in the National Guard? So let's ask Jeremy Rosenthal, legal analyst for The James Show from TexasDefenseFirm.com. Welcome back to the show for the 1,000th time, Jeremy. I don't understand how can a federal judge late Sunday block Trump from sending the National Guard into Oregon?
Okay, let's start with the beginning. That would be the Constitution, right? So the Constitution basically creates state militias, says that that's Congress's thing. Congress gives about 90% of the state militia power to the governor. And there are 3 times that Congress says the president can nationalize the National Guard. 1 is if there's an invasion. 2 is if there is a rebellion. And the 3rd is if he is unable to protect federal property. And that's basically what Oregon says is there. And look, the disagreement is what's happening on the ground, I guess, at an ICE facility or around federal installations. Is it mass pandemonium and riots like 1968? Is it 12 hippies sleeping across the street? And if the administration has what's called a colorable argument, then they can deploy troops to protect the federal property.
Hang on. But what does colorable mean?
What's that?
You said colorable argument?
Colorable. That's a good lawyer word.
That sounds
arguable.
Racist. Oh,
it is. It might have a. I don't. It's the word they taught me, James. I got a lot of debt.
Okay, so colorable, like adjective.
Yes,
an adjective meaning seemingly genuine or legally valid. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, see, there we go. And look, who knows when they made this word in the 12 or 13 or 1400s? Who knows why they made it? It could be some, racially whatever. But, yeah, they've got to have a straightforward argument, a straight-faced argument that says, look, we need to do this because we're not able to do it otherwise. And Oregon basically came back and argued and said, well, you can use civilian federal law enforcement. You can use your own ICE agents to defend it. That's the rub here. That's the fight.
So why didn't why did the court allow him to use the National Guard in some of these other circumstances? I understand D.C. he has full jurisdiction over that, but why only Oregon?
I think that these are going to be, if we're going to see this in other parts of the country, I think they're really going to have to be on a case-by-case basis because you've got that criteria and really the last time, and I, not to confuse or conflate issues, Donald Trump yesterday referenced, I think, the Insurrection Act. Last time that was invoked was in 1992 in the L.A. riots. So these things have precedents here and there. Obviously, nationalizing the militias have gone back, segregation, things like that. When you look at it, though, I think that the facts are going to have to match. And if he's going to deploy the Guard in the state against the governor's will, every governor is going to challenge it. Look, Ron Pitzker he got elected to be difficult for Donald Trump. That's good politics in Illinois, and it's good politics in Oregon. That's why they're opposing it. And that just sort of means that the administration is going to have to come with, look, here's why we need the Guard to come and defend this federal installation.
So the wording in this, federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration. So this isn't permanent. Is this just the order of things until a court case gets decided?
Correct. So that's right. A preliminary injunction means that you've shown a likelihood of success on the merits, and you've shown that you're going to be irreparably harmed without that relief. Also, these things, I think, are going to make their way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is just now in session, and you see a lot of these cases that we hear all these injunctions about. Now the court has the full chance to really dig into these, and you're going to get opinions, probably not for a little bit, but now the court's really going to be able to resolve a lot of these issues where you had some of these initial restraining orders against some of the early court actions in the Trump administration. So I do think you're going to see a lot more resolution with some of those issues.
Do you have a prediction, or you think eventually even a crazy judge in Oregon would allow the National Guard to be deployed there?
I don't know about that. It really, there's going to be a trial on it at some point. There was actually a trial in California, I think, about a month ago. So you're only pausing it for a moment. This judge didn't seem really persuaded by a lot of the government's arguments. So when you get that initial ruling, that you have a potential likelihood on the merits, it's kind of rare to see that sort of mindset flip. But circumstances can change. Things on the ground can change. A lot of times a judge will say, well, government, I don't see evidence of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a good government lawyer says, well, let's go get evidence of 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So a lot of times, the advocates on the ground can have a little way to sort of figure things out like that. So you could see something like that happen, but it's a pretty early indication that this judge wasn't a fan.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeremy Rosenthal, legal analyst on The James Show. You can find his work, texasdefensefirm.com. And remember your word of the day, colorable. Colorable.
Yes. Make colorable arguments at home. Yes, colorable. Yes.
That felt forced. You should have stopped, Jeremy. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right.